Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is all about the reveal of the next project bike which we're going to be doing on the channel. Nut and bolt restoration of the next project, and some of you may have already worked out what it is from a couple of shorts that I released. I think at least one person's worked out what it is. Let's go outside and see what we've got. So here it is. The next project is going to be a 1976 GL 1000 Goldwing. So there's a bit of a sad story really behind how I got hold of this bike. The chap I bought it from had bought it in boxes from his best mate, and his best mate had unfortunately been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and the chap I got it from had promised his mate that he would do the bike up and get it running so his mate could see it before the inevitable. Unfortunately he didn't make it, and the chap I bought it from, as you can imagine at that point, just lost interest in the project I should say, and just wanted rid of it. So I'm always one for a bit of a sob story, so I bought the bike off the guy, and I basically said to him that I will do a nut and bolt restoration on it, and I will get it back to the stage where his friend would have wanted it to be, and I can show him once it's all done, and hopefully that'll bring some kind of happiness into an otherwise sad story. So yeah, this is the next project. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess. It's going to need a complete frame up restoration. The frame has been hand painted, some of it's been hand painted I should say, and therefore the whole thing's going to need to be stripped down so we can get that blasted and back to how it should be. The engine I did hear running briefly on a video that the seller shared with me. It was running with no exhausts, so only for about 20-30 seconds if that, but it does run. I have got evidence that the carbs were completely stripped and rebuilt, although I think I'll probably end up stripping them and checking them all over just for peace of mind anyway. This bike also came with about, I've got 3 or 4 large boxes of spare parts. I've got several rear wheels. I think I've got a complete shaft assembly. I've got another set of forks. Yeah, I've got a load of spare parts. Believe it or not, it came with not 1 but 2 kickstarts, which are pretty rare to find, and I got 2 with this. It's a UK bike. I have checked that via the V5, but also via the serial numbers of the engine and frame, and it was originally registered as a UK bike. But it's definitely got some American parts on it. I think I'm not convinced about these handlebars. I think he said he got those off a CB750, but so I'm going to need to look at that reference with the manual and the parts catalogue. The Hagon shocks are pretty shot by the looks of it. I think they're going to need replacing. The rear caliper has all been hand painted. That will need redoing. I think he said he got this wheel from, he imported this from America because of the state of the other one. So we'll have to take a look at that. So the idea with this bike is to try and get it back exactly as it should have been when it came out of the factory, or exactly as it was when it came out of the factory. I think that might be easier said than done with some of the work that needs doing, but that's what we're here for. That's what the channel's about. It's all part of the fun, trying to get these things back to how they should be, trying to source the original parts. I do know that he's had real problems trying to get hold of the end of the fork, the cup brace, whatever you call it, that fits under here, U-clamp. He couldn't source one of those anywhere without buying another set of forks, which obviously I want to try and avoid if I can. So I need to try and get one of those for somewhere. I'm not actually convinced these are even the right forks for this bike, because looking at this, there's a hole there and one in this case here, one of this bolt here, which tends to suggest that these are air assisted forks, which they didn't have on the 1976 model. So yeah, that's going to need sorting out. I know people have a lot of fun with these cam belts on here. I don't know how old these are, whether they're original, whether they were changed, so they're going to have to get done. The engine's all got to come out anyway, so the engine's going to come out and be sorted out. Things I do know are wrong, I say, is the forks are wrong, the clocks are not correct. These have got blue dials, and I understand the 1976 ones would have had green. This looks correct for the UK model. The US models had two of the lights here, which I think is sort of fail-safe indicators for the headlight and the tail light. The switch gear is challenged, I think is that's the word for that. So obviously we're going to have to try and sort that out. To be honest, this sort of stuff doesn't scare me. My background is electromechanical engineering, so I've got no issues trying to sort this stuff out. Paint work, the chap I bought it from was going to try and put it back together and get it running, but he wasn't going to keep it the same colour, hence the reason he started rubbing it down. He was going to spray it himself and sort that out. I think the 1976 model, I'm sure, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I haven't looked at it too closely, but I think they came in this sort of candy red colour, which you can sort of see on there, where it's not been rubbed down. They also came in a turquoisey blue, and I have seen them from this era in a sort of sulphur yellow colour. Personally, I prefer the turquoise blue, so I think, although this originally was, according to the logbook, was the red as it is now, I think I might go turquoise, but you know, we're a long way off that stage yet. As you can see, at the moment it's running its original points setup. You can get electronic ignition for these, and I am likely to do that. I'm not a great fan of points if you can get rid of them and change them for an electronic unit, so I'm likely to do that. The exhaust that came with this are off a later model, I think from a 77 onwards model. I have managed to find the original tail pieces with the collector box and everything that goes underneath, and they're really rare, and I managed to find a new old stock one still in the original Honda packing case, which is amazing really. So that's probably one of the hardest parts to obtain, and I managed to find that before I've even started the restoration, so that gives me a bit of hope. Seat looks in pretty good condition. It should say Honda on the back, but we could sort that out. This has only been very lightly reassembled, I think is the best way of putting it, so he could move it and get it over to me. Most of the engine mountings are bolts, and all the rest of it are not in. Things like the rear shock here, there's no bolt in that. Everything is basically loose. Nothing's been tightened up, but it doesn't matter because it's all been stripped down anyway. So obviously as time progresses, we're going to do a multi-part videos of the restoration of this, and I'd be more than happy if you could follow along, and we'll see how we go. So there's going to be a short intermission because I'm just about to go on holiday for a couple of weeks, but I'm itching to get started on this, want to get back, and when I do, I shall start uploading videos, and we can take it from there. But if in the meantime, if you restored one of these, or you have any hints or tips, good websites to go to get parts for these, forums that can give me information on correct parts, setup, carb setups, you know, all the usual sort of stuff, then I would be most appreciative, because I haven't done a Goldwing before, I haven't done a flat 4 engine before. It's a bit of a beast, but you know, we'll tackle it bit by bit, section by section, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. So hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel so you can see when more content comes along, and I'll catch you in the next one.